This podcast includes explicit language and sensitive topics that some may find offensive.
All views expressed belong to the individual speaking and not a representation of any entity that we have been, am now, or will be affiliated with. It's your chance to back out now.
That being said, if not,
enjoy the show.
Previously on The Black Man Misunderstood.
Oh, Eastern. I think Eastern. Yeah.
You cannot. Don't do it. If you took a picture in it, take it out the suitcase. That's it. It's over with. Wait at the beach in America or something.
Yo, I can't with you, but I understand.
That's my rules. I got rules to this international player stuff, man. Come on.
Hey,
black man, misunderstood.
It's your boy Mike B.
In the neighborhood therapist.
welcome back to the Black Man Misunderstood, where we discuss topics about the black man that others are afraid to speak on. I'm your host, Mike B, and this is episode 13 of season 4. 90's babies, intimacy versus isolation. Joining me as always, my brother.
Justice Payne Tyson, the neighborhood therapist. What's good with it?
What up, brother? And yes, this is a continuation of our 90's baby series, y'all. But I ain't even gonna start this off. I'm gonna just throw this to my brother to do his thing. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. So usually we be having fun with the 90's babies. I mean, I feel like we're gonna have fun this episode too, but we gotta teach y'all something. I think it's teaching us ourselves too, because we're living in it during this time. We just noticing it's a lot of people that's lonely. It's a lot of people that's not getting married. It's a lot of people that's choosing not to have kids. That whole spill. And we talking specifically about the 90's babies. They call us the millennials. I think it's geriatric millennials too, right? Yeah, they got different brackets for millennials. It's wild. It's a lot going on. But we wanted to speak specifically to y'all. So what I wanted to do is get into my psychology bag real quick. To make it make sense for a lot of y'all, and just show y'all a different side of me, because y'all used to seeing me get on here and boom, 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 boom. Let me show you why I got a couple of plaques on the wall real quick. All right, so just bear with me on this one. All right, real talk. So Erik Erikson, this is a psychologist back from the 1950s, right? He came out with Childhood and Society. It was a book. So in the book, he described 8 stages of development, right? So I'm going to take you through 8 stages that we go through: the development, the conflict, the important events, and then the outcome. You ready?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
So he talked about infancy, birth to about 18 months old, right? So the conflict is trust versus mistrust. So basically, the infant is trying to figure out, do I trust you? Are you trustworthy? Some infants pull it off. Some infants, they grow up and they don't trust people. That's where your whole trust versus mistrust in adulthood leads to. Follow me. I'm already starting. Basically, what Erik Erikson is saying is, if you don't make it past one of these stages on your way of growing, you get stuck in that stage. So there are adults walking around right now at 35-year-olds that are still stuck in trust versus mistrust. In infancy, they were left somewhere and they didn't feel that love or that trust that they needed to feel. Right? Violently. So that's the conflict. Trust versus mistrust, right? The important event that triggers that is feeding. So breastfeeding, eating with your hands, anything like that. So the outcome is hope. If I trust you, I gain hope.
Okay.
That's stage 1. All right. Stage 2, early childhood. So this is about from 2 to 3 years old. All right. Autonomy versus shame and doubt. Autonomy, basically, you know what it is. You can maneuver on your own. You're your own person, right? Or you become shameful. You doubt yourself. Low self-esteem. See these air quotes going on? That's where that begins.
I see where you're going with this, bro. Come on with it. Teach the people.
Right. So the important event there is toilet training. Some of y'all learned how to use the toilet late. You may not remember, but if you ask your parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, they'll tell you like, oh yeah, you took forever to use the toilet. It leads to willpower. Come on now. All right. That's stage 2. I'm gonna let you eat. Let's go into preschool. This is stage 3. It's about 3 to 5 years old. This is initiative versus guilt, right? This one, I don't think it get enough love, and I understand why, because a lot of people just pass through it. Real talk. But this is your exploration stage. This is when you're exploring things. You're trying to figure out who you are. This is your purpose. And now I've talked about this on the podcast. I'm about to blow your mind with this, Mike. I always tell people, I'll be like, yo, when I was younger, I always wanted to be a Power Ranger. You understand? Like, real talk. I actually became a Power Ranger. I'm not going to speak about it on here or what I did before I became a therapist, but if you know, you know. I actually became a real life Power Ranger for the community. Like, I really was that. Martial arts, the guns, all of that, like the suit. Right. Real talk. I feel like that's because that was from my preschool days. That's what I was watching. Go Power Rangers!
Hey, you taking it back, bro. Go ahead. You in your bag.
So that's purpose. That's exploration. All of that is initiative versus guilt. School age, 6 to 11 years old. All right. Industry versus inferiority. This is when you go to school. This is when you build up your confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what that whole thing is. You either feel like you're inferior or you're part of a certain industry, right? Which takes you to adolescence. This is when stuff gets real, all right? Next stage, 12 to 18 years old. Notice the ages, bro. 12 to 18. That gap just widened, right? Now, I want you to, everybody that's listening, if you over 18, I want you to just take a moment, pause, and just remember 12 to 18. That's not just high school. That's not just like, that's like 6th grade or 7th grade to high school.
Middle school, basically.
Middle school, right? I want you to think about how wild that was for you. Just take that pause and think about it, right? And I'm about to mess your head up. This is identity versus role confusion. Exactly. Think about society. Exactly. That's the reason you laughing, because it must have hit you like a light bulb.
Yo, facts.
This is the crucial time when you're figuring out social relationships, right? But fidelity. You got to figure out who you are. And then if you don't figure out who you are within the midst of chaos, right, you have role confusion.
I think there's a lot of that going on, but I'm going to just keep my mouth quiet until we're done. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Now, this takes us to the name of this episode, this next stage. This is a young adulthood. This is 19 years old to 40 years old. That age bracket is nuts. You hear me? How you jump from that to that is nuts. But listen, age 19 to 40 years old, that means, right, that's not just millennials. That's Gen Z. Take a pause and think about that, Mike.
Yeah.
It's not just millennials, bro. So according to Erik Erikson, you can't go, oh, Gen Z is different than millennials. Y'all lumped in. Watch this. Intimacy versus isolation. This focus on relationships and the outcome is love. What is the one thing that 19 to 40 years old right now, the most prevalent thing that's kicking our asses in the community? As a human race, what is it?
Loving each other, basicly.
It's relationships.
It's relationships, yeah, hands down. And it's every type of relationship. It's not even just that. Everyone say the love relationship with boyfriend, girlfriend, but love is in every relationship. So it's not just your significant other type of relationship. It's your parental relationship. It's your sibling relationship. It's your co-workers relationship. It's all of those things. It's the community relationship. So yo, bro, go. You in your bag, man. You in your bag. I'm enjoying this. Go ahead, bro.
Okay. Now, we're going to get into this. Let me skip to the last two and then we'll jump back. All right. Because we got time, a little bit of time. So after we get through that, when we get through that, y'all, because we going through all this together now, y'all. They talking about we got until 40. All right. So let me highlight the people that's 40 and above. Middle adulthood. Hey, this is gonna be fun. This is what we got to look forward to, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Generativity versus stagnation. This is some scary stuff. I'm gonna be real with you, Mike, because I've been these last two stages I've been paying attention to about older people that I know. And this is where I want to really educate you, Mike, for shit sure, bro. And no, for real, and the listeners, bro, because this is where we're heading if God willing we get to that age, bro.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is work and parenthood, right? This is I'm about to eat, bro. Watch this. This is about care. This is where Erik Erikson says you're supposed to be a parent and you become the best version of your parent in this age bracket. If you pay attention, Mike, you ain't got to use your parents. Use somebody else's parents that you know. If you've been around them long enough, their parent peaked in their between 40 and 65. Just take a moment, pause on that, sit on that, eat on that. I myself, and I mean no disrespect when I say this out loud, right? Because my parents very, very touchy lately with this podcast. I mean no disrespect when I say this. I mean this with the highest respect. Both of my parents peaked in late 40s. Like in regards to like being a parent to me, like the way I remember it anyway, in their 40s. Like they really was like, hey, is there anything on your mind? Do you want to talk about? Boom, 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 boom. It came. Now the age they at now, without giving out too much information on them, they really be on my head.
Yo, you know what? Yeah, they be on you, bro. They be on you.
Speak your mind. If it's something on your chest, get it off your chest. They be like that because it's a certain wisdom that comes with it. So in my opinion, I don't feel like they're stagnant. They're moving towards what they need to move towards. They're doing the parenthood thing. They got it down pat. They're figuring it out. They're on the flip side though. There are people that are stagnant. They may have children. They may not have children, but they just at this point in their life, they're just like, yo, what did I do with my life? Right? I want this whole space. I'm 60-something years old. I didn't do anything. That type of energy. That happens right there. But 42, it happens at 42, but I feel like you got a little bit more. You still got time.
Well, midlife.
That phrase, I'm gonna argue with you. I don't think that really exists, but that's here nor there. I'm just be real with you. I want people to start researching that. I don't think that exists.
So to me, when I say midlife crisis, it kind of goes back to what you're saying with the stagnation and everything. They get to the point where they realize, like you said,
the way it was meant to be a midlife crisis. Okay, all right.
Yeah, no. Not the midlife crisis. I'm divorcing my wife and going to get them young chicks. Not that. Come on, bro. I'm with you.
All right. So this last one is the one that I be worrying about, believe it or not. I be skipping generativity versus stagnation. I know, I'm weird. I know. The last and final stage. This is the stage that like really I'm very cognizant of. Maturity. 65 years old till death. This is ego integrity versus despair. Reflection on life. This is wisdom. This is where they say you gain the wisdom. This is why since you've known me, Mike, since we've been like, I mean, you know me forever, but like I started talking about retirement at like 15 to you and the squad, right? Is because I actually read up on this at that age. Before I got to college, I knew about this. And I always looked at that last one, and it's like ego integrity versus despair. Bro, I cannot tell you how many 65 and year old people I talk to. Clients and just normal people, bro. And it's split down the middle. Some of them, they be trying to give back to the community. They talk to me, you know, hey, you need to listen. This is what I went through when I was younger. This is how you don't do this. This is how you do that. You know, my Uncle Owen, shout out to him, OG. Yo, he's to me, he is the best example. I'm not going to give his age on here. I don't know if he wanted that out there. He's definitely up there, right? All he do is drop gems. All he do is give information back. That's all he talk about. I can't ever say that my uncle is sitting there in despair. I can't. He moved to
his vibe wouldn't do that, man. His vibe wouldn't do that, man, at all.
He still be on the treadmill. He still be working out. I'd be like, God, I'll be working harder than me, dog. I'll be like, so he's not in despair. He made whatever personal demons and things like that because we all got that. But straight down the middle, he's not on that side. But then I've met people the same exact age of him, and they're just like, I wasted my life. What's the purpose? I'm gonna die alone. I'll be like, what?
Yep.
That's nerve wracking to me. So I always think about that. If I'm blessed enough to get to that stage, I need to be living my life the way I want to live it now. Ain't no wait till later. Ain't no that type of thing. So I want listeners and viewers to keep that in mind as we about to dig into this, because this is why we're gonna go back to young adulthood, intimacy versus isolation. That's where we're at. One and two, we got to prepare for middle adulthood and maturity. So let this episode do that. We're gonna have a little fun, but we're gonna keep it real too. Any questions we get started, Mike, about that? Did I miss anything? You feel?
Nah, bro. Hounding out the knowledge, bro. You know I love this. Come on.
Okay. All right. So this is what I want you to do, Mike. Given the information that I just gave you, I want you to really take a deep breath and really open up your mind. Think about the people you've met along your life and the people that you know right now that's in your life, bro. Now figure out where they fall in these stages and how they treat you. Your life should change instantly.
Yo, it's like you said, it's one or the other with a lot of folks, and it's crazy when I actually sit here and I'm actually thinking about it in real time. I'm looking at people's identity versus role confusion. I'm like, that identity versus role confusion is a big one, but to even go back, that trust for mistrust is a bigger one.
The infancy?
The infancy joint. Because I think about it like this is like, yeah, we have extroverts, introverts, and the one in between, ambiverts. Let me make sure I'm saying ambiverts, I'm saying it right. And like how we move, right? And I was having the conversation with my wife and my sister-in-law the other day, just having chit chat and talking to them, they're realizing they're probably more of an ambivert because they can be extroverted when they need to be and introverted when they in their own space. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, to think about it, I think a lot of people are like that. I think more people are ambiverts than anything.
Yeah, but you also got to be careful though, Mike, because they also have introverts now and introvert extroverts.
They got extra stuff.
Yeah, man, everything getting complicated, bro. But that's confusion. It's really interesting though.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And then and I think like when you look at those ambiverts, it's like I think that's their understanding of trust and mistrust, right? They're like, I'm surrounded by family. All right, I trust these people, but when I go out into the world, I gotta mistrust other folks. And that's infancy. That's just infancy, which is crazy that starts that early. The identity versus role confusion, I think that's a huge topic today because we're trying to make up new rules for everything. That stuff that's been the same. I'm not saying that like everything needs to change, but we're making up new rules for no reason. Stuff works the way they're supposed to work for a reason, but people like to, I don't think that's right. That's something else. I'm like, nah, where you went wrong. Where did you go wrong? And with this, it's showing where they went wrong. So, yeah.
But I'm going to be real sure. I feel like that's humans in general, bro. Because, like, all right, so infancy, right? Because I'm going to rock with the two you just brought up. Infancy, and then you brought up, adolescence, right? So you got trust versus mistrust. I feel like for that, to give an example of that, people got to remember, think of a baby. Like for birth to 18 months, right? Think of a baby. Mm-hmm. And now think of you reaching out to a baby. If the baby reaches out to you, it trusts you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you reach out to the baby and the baby just looking at you like, no, or they start crying, the baby don't trust you.
Yep.
Okay? That's the example for that, right? Let me jump to adolescence. identity versus role confusion. I'll use myself in this instance, bro. I was 100% trying to figure out who I was from 12 to 18, right? I don't think I actually figured out who I was until I was about 16. That's a long gap, man. You know what I mean? Whereas you got somebody like my father, he had knowledge of self. For those of you who understand what that is, then you know, he had knowledge of self super young. Super young. That's his story to tell. But just know in adolescence, he had knowledge of self super young. So I got it a little later than him. You see what I'm saying? So his identity was established and he just kept establishing it, doing what he was doing. Whereas mine's, on the other hand, I had role confusion from age 12 to 16. So that means I'm trying to figure out what I like, what I don't like. And then remember, you got peer pressure. So you got the people around you that's like, nah, that's not cool. This is cool, right? And then I always bring up, since this is 90s babies, we got to remember the episode where we talked about we was in the school team playground and we started playing Beyblades. And everybody, the girls and the fellas was like, yo, y'all are corny, y'all are nerds, y'all lame for this, boom, boom, whatever the word was back in the 90s. We was that until we wasn't. And then all the cool kids wanted to play Beyblades. All the shorties wanted, all the girls, the honeys, whatever we called them back then, they wanted to play. Show me how to do it. And then now exposing something, we was a little fast. The girls, oh, show me how to do it. We get behind them. Yeah, you do it. Let it rip, I'm just saying, we had fun. You remember, Mike? It's
Come
true.
on now. You know I remember.
We
Even
had
I was in my
fun.
uniform, I remember. Come on
Right.
now.
We had fun, but it was still role confusion because like I think of some of the young ladies, right? I can think of some young ladies that were like, to me in my mind as an adult looking back, I'm like, oh man, she was wife material. But you see her now
Yep.
because she got confused of her role back then. She was giving it out to this one, that one, because it was cool to do that for whatever it was with her. And now you see her today and you're like, dang, wasted potential. Like, what happened? You was definitely somebody's wife. You carried yourself as somebody's wife. You was raised as somebody's wife. But because of role confusion, now it affects you in young adulthood. And then we got intimacy versus isolation. You're not intimate with anybody anymore. You're isolated. And now you're on the social media talking about something, I can't find love. Dudes ain't ish. Blah, 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 blah. And people don't understand it came from that.
Yep. Not to mention other influences, but yes.
Of course, yeah. But I've always been intrigued by Erik Erikson. There's two things. If you ever want to know how the neighborhood therapist really gives it up in therapy, you go to Erik Erikson with that, and then you go Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Those two things have always intrigued me, bro. Because if you really sit back and look at those two things, you really look at humans and you go, yo, this is who we are. And then of course Sigmund Freud with the mommy and daddy, the complexes. I'm not gonna go into that today.
That's a whole nother bag.
Yeah. But let's talk about the dating world, man. Intimacy versus isolation, bro. Let's have some fun.
Yes, sir. Come on, let's get into it.
Why are so many people choosing to be alone? Or are they just lonely?
So, my whole opinion, when I saw this question and you wrote this, I always thought, I'm like, I would say that they're choosing to be lonely, in my opinion. I don't think it's just being lonely anymore. When we speak about isolation versus intimacy, right? Because let's look at those people. Let's look at some of those individuals instantly, right? The woman who can't find a man, right? Or say she can't find a man. Does she have a close? No, not a close. Does she has a healthy friend group? Because you can get intimacy from your friends, but it can also be the wrong intimacy to put you in that isolation mode for yourself.
Right.
So I always thought about that. Cause I don't want to put Big Sis business out there. I ain't gonna say her name. You just gonna say Big Sis.
Oh, you only got one big sis. I would use somebody else for you to get your head knocked off.
Bruh, Keisha ain't gonna care. I know my sister.
Okay.
She ain't gonna care. My sister ain't lonely. My sister ain't lonely. She got healthy relationships with each one of her brothers, all her friends, the ones. I don't. This is a personal thing with me too. I like to compartmentalize my friend groups, right? Or organizations. Because people they think they're one thing and put themselves in a different box, and they ain't that box.
Oh, talk to me nice. Okay.
Right? So my sister knows who she is,
Okay.
what she wants to do, what she deserves. So my sister ain't never lonely.
So no role confusion.
No role confusion. My sister good. So intimacy for isolation for her, I ain't gonna give her age, but she's good. She ain't having that problem. I know my sister ain't having that problem. And I know she ain't having that problem for years.
Okay.
So this intimacy versus isolation is definitely also, like we said, you go through the stages, but there's a lot of stuff that affects those things. And having good relationships with other individuals can outweigh some of these circumstances sometimes when it comes to that relationship, intimacy, peace. Hence why my sister is my example of showing you that people are choosing to be lonely because they don't have the right relationships on the outside. And I'm not going to say it's everyone, because you do have those exceptions that have great family relationships, friend relationships, community relationships, and they just haven't found the right one. That's my opinion.
Okay. We definitely gonna speak to that last part you just said. You haven't found the right one, but I want to talk about are people just lonely or are they choosing to be alone? I gotta say I agree with you. People are choosing to be alone. That is the consensus that I'm coming up with after talking to hundreds at this point of single people. And it's because of the last part you just said. They feel like, and I'm not gonna miss my words, they feel like the dating pool has piss and shit in it. They feel like it's infested. Am I lying? I know you've heard it too. They feel like there's nothing in it, and the person that they're looking for is swimming around them. So, as somebody that is certified, a big homie, and I'm not being humble with this, a OG, I'm saying what I'm saying, okay?
Come
I'm
on with
one
it,
of the
bro.
big dogs when it comes to marriage counseling, couples counseling, just the overall gist of that. The thing that I see is that I'm meeting phenomenal women and I'm meeting phenomenal men. I'm also meeting some crap pieces of crap. I'm gonna say that nicely, right? But the phenomenal men and the phenomenal women, they're missing each other. They're not in the same rooms at the same time. And then another thing that's happening is now, I'm gonna just use, let's say a brother, he's a phenomenal brother, right? And he's giving up. He's like, man, all these girls want to do is this, social media. I gotta make 200K a year, right? He's saying all this thing. He's like, I just want to find somebody to love me for me, and let's elevate together, that type of thing. The sad truth is, this is my personal opinion, right? The sad truth is, I think we might be beyond that. The elevation, hear me out, it's just an opinion, hear me out. In your 20s, you're afforded that. From about 18 to about 24, you're afforded that opportunity.
I gave it 26, but yeah, I'm with you on that.
Like 26.
Yeah,
I'm around 24 though. I'm going somewhere.
Yeah.
18 to 24, right? You're afforded that. Let me get to know you. Let's build together. Oh, we both ain't got it together, or one person got it together. I'll lift you up and you lift me up. Like that whole kumbaya, let's
build it together. Mm-hmm,
yeah, I think that's around the age where you can do that. Once you hit 25, that's why I said 24. Once you hit 25, it splits down the middle. See, like 18 to 24, it's a unison thing. It's like it's an unspoken thing. Like, we can do this. No problem. We got years ahead of us. We can do it together. We got time. Once you hit 25, bro, it goes down the middle. Certain 25 years ago, man, I'm 25. At this point, you see what I'm saying? And then other 25-year-olds are hopeful. That's what my brother Mike fell into. I think that's why he threw out that 26. Mike was in that category. He was hopeful, right? That's why he went that way. But it splits down the middle, bro. And I think at that point, where we're at right now in our 30s, us in our 30s, that 25-year-old is now with us in our 30s, and they looking at it for what I feel it is. Yo, if you got your own at this point, and you do happen to find somebody from now until whenever, listen, y'all gonna have to get a prenup. And every time I say it to somebody, people skin crawl. They look at me like I'm crazy. How can you be a marriage therapist and you recommend something like that? Because I'm realistic. Listen, bro, we are 30-something years old. We have built a career by ourselves. Alone. I'm not talking to married folks. This is not y'all conversation right now. Okay. I'm talking to the single people. The single people that's out here getting it, striving to figure it out, going through the mental health counseling by yourself. You're not going to that with nobody else. You might be inviting parents, a cousin that you got beef with or something like that, but you're doing the work. So why in the world now in 2024, the craziness of society that we live in today, would you go into a relationship talking about, oh, I love you, what's mine is yours and yours is mine? After the stuff that I came up with by myself. Just do a prenup. You gotta do a prenup. And I'm telling you, that's what's disrupting a lot of the relationships as they try to get into marriage. But I'm gonna get there. Just hear me out when I'm saying this too. I'm preaching to somebody right now, okay? If you are in a certain age bracket, I'm gonna say if you over 25, bro, at this point, and you haven't found the person, when you do find the person, y'all sit down, y'all have a business transaction, y'all really have a conversation. Get a prenup. Because you've worked your ass off to get to this point, but you had to do it dolo. You had to do it dolo. So if there is a chance, right, that y'all don't work out, y'all leave with what y'all came with. You understand? Y'all are no longer at that age where y'all can say, oh, we elevated together, we got it together, we got it out the mud. That's not here.
So, I see your point. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I have a caveat to that, though.
Talk to me.
So, I would say for that mindset right there, right? I think you're specifically talking to a certain single. I don't think you're talking to every single. I think you're talking to singles who are about their business, right?
Yeah.
And they got all their stuff together, because we know if that person finds someone that's just like them talking prenup, in my honest opinion, less likely to happen because they trust that other person has their own. You get what I'm saying?
That's part of the problem, but go ahead.
Yeah. But more times than not, they don't find someone that's just like them. They find someone that may be a lot lower or still on that come up stage. And they're like, they don't trust.
Trust versus mistrust. Trust versus mistrust.
I get you. Me, and this is just me coming from the Christian side of things, right? And back. That trust and mistrust thing is huge, because then that basically says to me, as a Christian, right? You don't believe in, because I've said this last season, the marriage institution is not a human-made thing. It came from God. Y'all can nip this in the bud, all y'all other people, all y'all people out there. Came from God. And if you don't trust in that institution by itself, how it's supposed to work, that's why y'all be needing that prenup. That's all I'm gonna say.
I respect that. And And we need a Mike B. We need a Mike B that's going to give it to you from a Christian background, from a spiritual background, and that's why I offer it up from the human aspect of it, because that's the balance. You see what I'm saying? I give it to you spiritually as well, but from the human perspective, though, Mike.
Yeah, it's a thought process. I already, bro. You ain't got to tell me. I know.
It's necessary. Now, again, from the human perspective, bro, this is why I feel the prenup is necessary. Do you know about the pills, Mike? Do you know about the pills?
Bro. Nah, come. I already saw what we about to walk into. Come on with
right.
it. Explain them, sir.
To me, in my personal opinion, social media and the pills are the reason why it's hard for people to find somebody that they can spend forever with right now, currently.
Okay.
I don't got to tell you what social media is. Social media is social media. You know what kind of nonsense is on there. You know what you're feeding yourself. Okay.
Yep.
Let's talk about the pills, man. This one right here is ridiculous.
Yeah, I was intrigued with this. I was waiting for you to go in your bag. Come on.
All right. So most people have seen The Matrix, right? There was the red pill, there was the blue pill. Okay. If you haven't seen The Matrix, go watch it. I don't care if you think it's corny. You need to go watch it. It's very informational. It tells you some deep things.
There's too many memes and gifs, whatever you want to pronounce it, out there with them. So I know about this.
Yeah. go pay attention to that. So what communities, plural, have done is taking the red pill and the blue pill, made it their own, and came up with their own definitions, and they've even created more pills. And these pills are ideologies. We're not talking about real pills. We're talking about mental pills that you ingest from the world, and you take an ideology. All right. They call them incels. They got different names for them. I'm just gonna call them the pills. Okay. I'm gonna take you through the pills real quick. Not all of them, just a good set of them. All right. Easiest one, the red pill, bro. People that take red pills feel like they have awakened to something, right? So for an example, it can be a Democrat. They've been a Democrat their whole life. They awaken and now they become Republican because they feel like, oh, the Democrats have lied to me my whole life. Now I'm Republican. It's just an awakening.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Blue pill or blue pillars, whatever. Blue pill. Once you take the blue pill, or you basically is you staying blissfully ignorant where you are. So whatever you've been doing in life, you're going to continue doing in life. That we call those sheep. You're a sheep. Everybody can't be a sheep herder. Everybody can't be at the top of the line. Some of us are meant to be sheep. That is just what it is. Everybody can't be a boss. You need workers. So some people just to continue to wake up in the morning and they take the blue pill. Then there are those that wake up in the morning and they take a red pill. They, oh, wow, I see the world differently. Those are the two differences. That is the Matrix right there in a nutshell for y'all. Let's get a little deeper into this rabbit hole, bro. Let's talk about the purple pill. My brother, right? My brother on the phone, we had a conversation many moons ago, and he was like, this is what sparked my mind. He was like, oh, man, yeah, bro, because you different. You like a purple pillar, bro. And I was like, I said, what? A what? He's like, yeah, you took the purple pill. I ain't think none of it. I let him keep talking. I was like, let him do his thing, right? I went and researched that joint, bro. This is what a purple pillar is, bro. Somebody that takes a purple pill, they reject the ideology of the red and the blue pill. And what they do is they explain the world in a relative and a sensible way. So basically they say, man, F with the red side, F with the blue side. I'm going to merge the two. And this is what it is. This is what I see.
There's a lot more in the middle. I get you.
Okay. So for those of you that take the purple pill, salute. Okay. Black pill. These are people that feel that the system is too far gone to change. They are hopeless. These are your depressed people. Nothing's going to change. No matter what we do, it's staying the same. And then you got the white pill. This is optimistic. I fully believe in the group that I am a part of. These are, dare I say it, MAGA. Let's just have a real conversation. We're talking about it.
Hey, come on, bro. Speak.
I'm not going to get too political, but regardless if they are right or wrong, as a totality, because they are a part of a group, role identity, role confusion. I think I'm talking a little bit too much. Anyway, MAGA MAGA feels they are optimistic about the future as long as
A certain
somebody,
outcome.
right,
Mm-hmm.
certain outcome. They fully believe in that. They have taken the white pill. That doesn't mean they're right. That doesn't mean they're wrong. But in their minds, they're right because they're optimistic for the future. The reason why I brought up these pills is because all of this is kicking our asses in the dating community. 100%. You have people that fully live and die by these pill ideologies, and then, oh, men are supposed to be doing this, women are supposed to be doing. You have so many different ideologies now in the world, not just America, in the world, battling each other. So you might meet somebody and you be like, oh man, this is who I've been looking for. And then y'all open your mouths and your ideologies be slightly different, just slightly different. But because y'all don't agree, oh, you ain't for me. Man, our grandparents, our parents, our great grandparents, they didn't agree on everything.
Come on, you about to take us to the next point, bro. Go ahead.
They didn't
Go
agree
ahead.
on everything, man. And they figured it out because once upon a time it says opposites attract like magnets, bro. But I don't know what's happened, bro. If me and you don't agree on something, now I gotta hate you. You are op. You the opposition. Listen, man.
Bro, it's funny that you're talking about this. I literally had a whole I literally just did a whole conference, and that was one of the pieces that someone said, bruh. It was a leadership conference, and that was one of the things they said. We're disagreeing in the wrong way.
Yeah. But why you gotta die about that? Why we gotta break up about that? Why can't you know what I mean? Oh, why you Mike been toxic his whole life because he's never agreed with me. Huh? He's gaslit me my whole life because he don't agree with me on certain topics. That bro, and that's why I said right before what we're talking about, right? Intimacy versus isolation. Right before that, to me, one of the most important ones is adolescence. That identity versus role confusion. Because if you don't know who you are, if you listen, man, I'm gonna just be real blunt when I say this, bro. If you are over 25 years old and you don't know who you are, you're confused right now. You're super confused right now because society is confused as a whole. As a whole. Single life versus married life, bro. Who's happier? Trick question.
This is a trick question, right? And I'm gonna say this first before I go into the answer. In both lives, you can be happy, right? It's how you look at things. But the true answer, honestly, is the single life.
Happier.
You want to ask me why?
Absolutely. Why?
So in the single life, you're worrying about yourself. So there's times where we talk about self and it's supposed to be healthy. And there's times where we talk about self and it's not healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're looking at a worldview and you talk about self, it's not healthy because you're supposed to always keep in mind how it can affect others with certain things. Cool. But inward self is when you're focusing on, yes, your happiness, but I think people tend to look at happiness in a wrong way. They tend to look at happiness like, oh, am I happy with my material items? My car, my house, my apartment. Am I happy about the job that I have? Yeah. No. When you focus on what makes you happy, self-wise, the thing that you want to really look at is, are you happy about the energy that you're putting out in the world? And when I mean that, that comes back to purpose. That comes back to whatever you believe in. And then that comes back to the community thing. So single people should be happy because in my opinion, you said that a lot of these singles issues is that they're looking they can't find.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't have to look so hard if you're doing what you're supposed to do.
That's up for debate. But I hear you.
No, hear me out. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, right? Doing your business and it's helping the world be a better place, all that good stuff, right? That's going to put you in the opportunities to meet other individuals. Now it's up to you in those moments to take those lenses off of just looking at it as business and be like, oh, I can see this as a potential mate.
I agree.
So single people, in my opinion, should be happier because they have more opportunities to interact with all different individuals with no questions asked. Now, married life. Not saying you can't be happy, but married life ain't just about one person.
Mm-hmm.
It's two individuals becoming one. So
Mm-hmm.
there has to be conflict.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what people forget with marriage. There is going to be conflict. It's not sunshine and rainbows over here. So yes, they may not be happy with as a single life, but their happiness is when they're working together even through the conflict. So yes, you can be happy as in married life, but I'm saying as being single, you're happy. And that's the only difference. Not saying that the level of happiness in marriage and the happiness of a single life is like there's levels to it, because you can see some couples who aren't as happy as someone that's single, and you can see some single people who aren't happy as being in a marriage. Perspective.
Respect. I don't even know why I asked the question because I don't know if it can truly be answered. I like your perspective though. I do think the image, when you see somebody single, the image of it seems like they're living life, they're having more fun. But then I take myself to my own marriage and I'm like, but I'm having fun too. I'm happy too. I'm at peace too. So I don't really know. I really don't know. I think it has its pros and its cons, man. But who's happier? Overall, I think I'm gonna disagree, Mike.
Really? You don't think so?
I'm talking about right now. Right now, yeah. In the world right now, who's happier? I think it's married people. Even if you lying to yourself in your marriage, you happier. I'm just, bro. You know me, bro. I'm gonna spit 1,000%, bro.
And I think I know where you're going with it. I think you're going to say you got someone to share it with versus being by yourself. I knew where you was going with it, bro. Come on now. I already know.
It's a lot of happy people, right? They have a lot of highs. I think it's like an 80-20 split. Like the 80% of the time they got highs. They outside, they at the bar, they at the lounge, they living life. They whatever they doing, they like to do, they doing it. That 20% though, I don't think that 20% is worth it though. When they at home, they're like, damn, it'd be nice to rub on something right now. Or man, just somebody to hold me and that right there, bro. I'm just speaking for me. I can't speak for nobody else. That part right there, I remember how that used to feel, and I'd be like, this is trash, dog. Like, yo, this is trash, bro. But you wake up and you live another day and you go out and get it. Like I know a lot of the homies that's single and they getting it, they living life. I also know that other part too, though. And they can say what they want to say, but to me, it's only 20%. But that 20% is heavy, bro. That's literally like saying, "Oh, my Achilles is torn, but the rest of my body is 100%." Bro, if your Achilles torn, you're not playing no sports. You said that's my point, bro. It's a 20% piece, but it's huge. That's why I feel like, yo, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I think married people are overall happier. I think that single people have more fun. All right, but
and I think the difference here is how I talked about single life and how you're talking about it. You're talking about enjoying life, yes, and I said it, enjoying life, but I think I was more so focused on having to deal with the other person, the conflict piece of everything.
okay,
That's the part I was focusing on.
Okay,
So
yeah,
it's An opinion of two ideas.
Yeah,
That's literally all it is. But no, I see your answer. You see my answer. We both on it, bro.
Hey man, 90s babies, man. It's all
Yeah,
good,
man.
What's up? Bring up 90s babies. You got an interesting thing you want to talk about. Talk to me nice.
Living single.
In the
How
90s
did
in the world.
Yep. How do living single, a different world, and in living color affect our views on relationships? Those are three of the major TV shows of the 90s that I've just mentioned. There's plenty more, but I mentioned those three.
All right. So you want to go first or you want me to go first?
No, you go first because I already know where you're coming. I want your piece first before we get into the bag.
I alluded to it earlier. They have different types of millennials. I think it's like geriatric millennial and young millennial, whatever they got. Okay. I feel like this is, and I mean, no disrespect when I say it, because I don't even know how it's meant to be taken, but this is a part of the geriatric millennials generation, bro. I don't know if we're the geriatric millennials. I do know that we grew up on this, but this was the tail end for us. A different world and living color, living single. We remember it, but our shows were more so Moesha, the Parkers, that type of energy. You vividly remember Martin more than you remember Living Single. You remember Living Single, right? But you really, really remember Fresh Prince. Well, my dad don't love me. Why you don't want me no more? If I do that to you, you vividly can recall that. Will standing in the living room with Uncle Phil. You can
Uncle Phil
recall,
crying.
right? You can't really recall in Living Single when my man, I forgot her name, basically was like, well, I guess we breaking up then. I ain't got time for that. And he walked off on her and she was just standing there looking at him like, what just happened? Some of y'all can recall that. All of y'all can't from the 90s. I know y'all can't. For a fact. Y'all don't even know what I'm talking about. Go look it up. My man was he was standing on the stairs. She was sitting in the hallway. She was talking all that rah, 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 you need me, I'm the catch, blah, blah stuff. And he was like, okay, I ain't got time for that. See you later. And he walked off on her and she was sitting there like, where you going? I was just joking. Don't leave. Y'all remember that? That's the tail. That's the beginning. To me, that's like the beginning of the 90s. That wasn't, for me, what me and Mike are talking about, that's not us. It's just something we watched. Our siblings, our older siblings, or people that was slightly, just a bit older than us.
And threw on us, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you talked about the relationship pieces of these shows. A different world. This is why I brought this up. The only thing I ain't gonna say you, only thing I remember strongly about A Different World is the relationship. How he chased her all around the campus. Then he finally got her. Then she didn't want him. Then she wanted him. Then she didn't want him. That's the only thing I remember about A Different World. And then I think they got married at the end. Spoiler alert. Something like that. I don't really remember. I think they did.
Yes, no. He there was so much more to it. It was most well, I wouldn't say most people, but because they're doing the tour like now anyway. Different World, based on this, the Different World had an influence on a lot of the growth of HBCU attendance at the time. And it also gave people the opportunity to realize that they can be more than just, like the normal everyday things, teachers and all that good stuff. It actually made you look like, oh, I could be an engineer and things of that nature. Like those other pieces. And then it also show you military from our perspective,
right,
versus what we always see. So I think The Different World, that's what it did to relationships. It shows us what we can be and what we can strive for.
To my overall
relationships. Yeah.
Okay. But since we're talking about intimacy versus isolation, let's focus on those relationships. What did A Different World do?
The conflict of understanding differences. It's all of that stuff we've been talking about this episode. It shows us that with A Different World from start to finish, with all the points that you brought up, him chasing her liking him, not liking him no more, her moving on, them get married at the end. Because, like, spoiler alert, he crashed her wedding for them to get married.
But here's the thing. They ended up getting married. That was the end. They show you that, right? Living single, they end up that they're still together. They show you that that's what I'm telling you. That's the beginning of the 90s. Like, I'm talking about our ideology. That's the beginning. That's what we saw. To me, that's like the 70s to me. Like, they had certain strong black men. This is what black men stood for. It was something right before your time. You were alive for it, you saw it, but it was right before your time. When we talk about intimacy and isolation, bro, I'm going to just be real with you. I don't feel good saying this out loud. We are talking about Moesha. We talking about the Parkers. We talking about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We talking about Martin. Bro.
What about Girlfriends?
Girlfriends. Listen to me. What do all those shows have in common? I'll wait. Taking too long. Nobody stayed together. That's the point. Now we're going to talk. Now we're going to have a conversation. Even in Martin, right? If you want to look at it from a show standpoint, fine. But even in Martin, towards the ends of the seasons, they weren't even in the same frames.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So we have been trained. I'm talking about 90s babies. Watching our shows are considered Moesha. Because I really feel like a different world was, this is just me. But the shows that we watched, even all that, none of that stuff showed a mom and a dad. It shows separation. Now look what we got. And we watched all those shows in adolescence. Wink, wink. Identity versus role confusion. So if you watching that and you ingesting that the whole time, this is before social media, right? That was our social media. That's what we're ingesting. We're ingesting how to have conflict, as you say, Mike, in our relationships. Get together with this person, leave them. You don't like them. What is it? Hakeem and Q beefing over Moesha. That was crazy to us, dog. That was crazy to us. But we living that out right now. What's up? Talk to me nice. Now I got a big question, bro. Since you brought that up, do you think that affects why you're still married? Those shows, you watching your parents, you watching the people around you be single and be lonely. You watching other couples, they may not be the happiest, but it's better than the alternative. Have a real conversation with me, Mike. Why you still married? And do me a favor, because this one is an obvious one. Mm-hmm. Because it's your ordained wife and God told you to be there. We got that. I'm talking to the human right now, though. That's what you got the ascension for.
You gonna just chop me at the knees right now, huh?
All right, go the human route. Let me hear something.
I'll go a little bit. So, when it comes to marriage, right? A lot of these shows bring up a lot of these different thoughts anyway in your head. I would say people don't say them out loud sometimes. People keep them to themselves. But, bro, I honestly can't say anything else. You know what I'm about to say. It goes back to my foundation. I really, in my honest opinion, my foundation trumps all those shows. Because I look at it like this. It doesn't matter what I ingest, right? I can ingest a lot of this stuff. But if I let it touch my soul and stay there and then build over time, then it's going to affect my foundation. But if I don't allow it to affect my foundation, it doesn't affect my views on things that I believe in and how I believe it should go. So, how these affect how I stay married? Because I'm looking at this as like, yeah, I may not be going through all of that, but I'm going through enough to know that I'm good. That's extreme, maybe. That right there, I could take that piece. Maybe I could do something a little better because maybe I'm not doing everything that I'm supposed to as a husband. it's like knowing, it's like using our eyes and views and basically what we grew up, isolation versus intimacy, is and understanding everything that we're, and be like, okay, I'm taking that true pill, the blue pill, where I can take pieces and not just, oh, all of this. Oh, this is how my marriage is gonna be. Nah. That's what that is. That's the answer you're looking for.
So I'm gonna summarize what you said. And again, listeners, there's nothing wrong and there's nothing right about what Mike said. This is his opinion. Don't be trying to flame my boy up in the comments, all right? But you said something that puts you in a box. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, that's
You said,
fine.
I'm taking the blue pill.
No,
The blue pill.
I said,
Yeah, that's what you said, bro.
oh, no. I didn't mean to say blue pill. I'm saying, I said I'm taking stuff from the blue and red pill. No. I said I was taking the purple one. That's what I said.
So you feel like you take the purple pill?
Yeah, because I look at the world in a relative and sensible way. So I know where stuff makes sense and when stuff don't make sense. That's what I said. You probably only hear me say blue pill, but I was referring to the purple pill saying blue and red.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I ain't putting my, nah, you good?
I still gotta make this make sense, right?
Yep, go ahead.
Your foundation is Christianity. And because your foundation is Christianity, no matter what you ingested, no matter what is going on in the society, it doesn't truly affect your marriage. It only affects your marriage from a standpoint of, I got to do this better, or, oh, that's a good idea. That's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Respectfully. I do some of the same things. I do look at the shows. I do look at my parents and aunties and uncles, all that stuff like that. I look at all of that. But the question is, did any of this affect why I stay married? Yes, 100%. Because I think about, let me snitch on myself. I don't remember a lot of Moesha. I don't remember a lot of the Parkers. I don't remember a lot of the Blackity Black shows. I don't remember a lot. Jamie Foxx show. I don't remember.
All I need, the simple things.
Yeah. As an adult, I got to go back and rewatch these shows, right? So I only remember bits and pieces, but the bits and pieces that I remember are comedy and despair. Jamie was always chasing around Fancy, and she wasn't giving him no play. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Will was a playboy. He had different women all the time, but he never ended up with one. At least I don't remember.
You know, all these people that you named, they all end up getting married at the end of their every episode and whatnot.
Did Will get married for real?
Yeah. To Nia Long's character. I forget her.
I don't remember. I'm telling you, I'm snitching on myself. I really have not. People can pinpoint recall episodes. And they be like, you remember the time? I'll be like, bruh. I was a different type of child. I was not sitting in front of that TV with y'all. I'm sorry. I wasn't. But my point is, that's what I recall. I recall the despair and the trauma of these TV shows. So I recall those and I think about that in my own marriage. And I'll be like, bruh, you only got one. Because if you go out there and you leave this because your ideologies are different or you're not getting something that you want in the moment, what's actually out there? Is there something better? What are you bumping into? What is it that you actually looking for? And then when you get out there and you realize, I don't want to deal with this, I want to go back to where I'm at, how you know this person ain't move on already? That type of ish, bro. And this is me being vulnerable with everybody that's listening, man. I'm good, bro. That's why, and let me not miss my words. I'm joking with Mike when I say me and Mike are different, because the only difference there is that he knows Christianity is his foundation. Whereas he says Christianity, I say God. It's the same thing, right? But my foundation is 100% that. That's always going to be at the top, the ordination of it, right? But I'm just speaking to y'all from the human aspect of it. Man, these shows mess me up, man. I can't. What positive Black couples did you see in these TV shows? People always talk about Claire Huxtable and whatever my man is, Bill Cosby and all that. I never watched that show, so I don't know what they be talking about. I don't really care. You know what I mean? I'm just being real with you. I didn't watch the Cosby Show. I don't care for that show. It's not my generation. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. I don't care for that. He was never a shining example of what a dad was to me. You see me? You feel me? So I'm good on all that. What are you seeing? What are you ingesting? That's what it boils down to. And that's what I'm trying to tell people, bro. It do affect your relationship. Anybody can sit there and be like, nah, I'm saying no business, boom, boom. But I'm like, bro, you still a human. Them seeds are still being planted. This is what my beef is with social media. Especially this balloon popping stuff. Man, can we talk about it?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I'm gonna start with the balloons and then I'm gonna go on to the other thing, man. All right. I wanna have fun. I wanna have fun. If you weren't married, Mike, only if you weren't married today, 2020, talk to me nice, man. Would you go on the balloon popping competition?
You know, I thought about that when I first started seeing these shows. And I'm just, and I'll be frank with you. Listen, I've watched a couple of these things. I won't be honest. I've watched these things because I'm just intrigued. Because I'm like, all right, let me see what they talk about. Like, I'm like, I know I'm married. I'm good. I got mine. I ain't worried about this. I'm just looking just to see what people are looking at for and what they're asking. And this is just my opinion. A lot of the episodes that I've seen, when there is a well-spoken man or a man that knows what he wants, it goes one or two ways. One, all the girls want him, or two, the girls can't stand him. Which people gonna be like, oh no, it's a lot more deep. I'm like, nah, when you actually go watch it, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. Because, like, the well-spoken man, right? Because, you know, people, we have these tricks. There's dudes who can become well-spoken. It goes one way. In all those females' mind, that's up there. Oh, he's cute and he's well-spoken? All right, cool. I'm going to keep my balloon unpopped. The other ones, he's too well-spoken. He hiding something. What is it? And listeners, ladies, y'all can come for me if y'all want. But tell me how much y'all thinking the same thing as soon as one of those guys come up. But then you have the one who knows what he wants. Well spoken, but he may not speak how nice and elegant like you want him to speak. Mm-hmm. He cutting your teeth, cutting you straight through. Be like, yeah, I'm a business owner. This is what I do. I believe in God. This is my family. I have 2 kids. This is how. And you don't like how he's speaking, and you taking that for him being an a-hole, and he may not really be an a-hole. He's straightforward. People don't like straightforward. That's what I get with these balloon popping shows. People don't like straightforward. People like stuff to be massaged and nice and smooth. No. That's what I get from these balloon popping shows. Because I feel like that, in my honest opinion, looking at the shows and just from listening from what the people say that they do and what they have, should be a lot more couples coming off those shows and
100%.
And staying together and actually making something, but they don't. They let their egos get in the way. Intimacy versus isolation. I can do bad all on my own. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Hey, I ain't mad at that. To answer the question, no, I'm not going on that show.
Yeah, I ain't going on that show, bro.
I can't do it. It's not a let me be careful what I say here. Let me verbalize it properly. Let me do the proper linguistics with this. It's not a self-esteem issue. That's not it at all. It's more so a self-esteem issue. Let me eat.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Go ahead, bro.
It's not so much that I'm worried about you telling me why I'm a problem and why you wouldn't date me. It's more so me, who I am. This is not how I want to meet my wife. not gonna meet her on no game show. You feel me? And this is what I strive to preach and teach to clients and anybody that will listen that's looking for love or just looking to date and things like that. It's the difference between dating and linking up. The balloon popping show for me is for link ups. You like what I got on? You like what I'm talking about? Da-da-da. Let's link up. And link up is not just sex to me. This is just my opinion. Linking up is having a good time, getting to know each other, just vibing, having a good. I just got somebody to vibe with. Back in the day, way before our time, 70s, 80s, our grandparents would say, "This is my little friend. This is my little."
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I think of when I see the balloon joint. I'm like, oh, you looking for a special friend. Something you can hit, something you can have a good time with, something you can enjoy.
Even though they say they want marriage, but yeah.
You don't want marriage going on YouTube and popping balloons. I get it. We in a new era, so things are going to look different. The world changes, so do things change. I'm going to stay the same. That's not it. That's never been it. You don't go... Listen. I'm trying not to hurt nobody's feelings. You don't go to the bar to look for a wife. You don't. It don't make sense.
You don't. And I'll say this just as a caveat. You don't go to the bar to find a wife. But if you just happen to find one at the bar, that could be a totally different situation. Because the person going to the bar to find a wife is actually looking at the wrong women, in my opinion. Where is that is single man and a single woman, they just happen to notice each other at the bar.
Exactly.
That's a different animal.
Exactly. It's about the intentionality. You intentionally went to the bar to find a wife. Is you intentionally going on a balloon popping show? That makes no sense to me. Just call it for what it is. Entertainment. I'm here to be entertained.
So I have a question because there's other shows out there, right, that do it, but do it in a different manner. I'm gonna bring up two. I'm only gonna bring up two because there's plenty of them out there. I ain't bringing up The Bachelor because I can keep that. I'm gonna bring up which one? All right, one's a Netflix show, and I think the other one's a Lifetime show.
Okay.
And first one is Love Is Blind.
Okay.
And then the other one is gonna be Married at First Sight. Those are two. So now, Love Is Blind, it's all in the individual's hands, right? And what they do with that is it's like, I think, 2 to 3 weeks that you're going on constant dates with individuals and you can't see them. You're just having conversation, talking about life, talking about your purpose, talking about what you want in life, which I think is actually smart. Married at First Sight, you have experts that you talk to. You take questionnaires, you give them information about yourself. They interview your families and all that good stuff. They get all that pieces in there and make a choice for you based on what you want. Now, these two shows, if I was single, I could potentially see myself going on one of them, right? Because the process of it all is actually getting to the core of the individuals versus what I see.
Okay.
Right? And I think those shows, even though they're probably people would say, oh, they're in the same line as a balloon popping show. I'm like, but is it really? Because these individuals get to the nitty gritty questions and we're only shown pieces of it. We're not even shown everything. The balloon popping show, I'm almost certain we're shown the entire thing of a conversation because everything is right then and there. So people are being very calculated on what they say and how they say it. Now, you get those individuals on those two respective shows also. But on those shows, if you try to do that as much, you get caught.
I hear you. I think we still got to remember that this is entertainment. And
Yeah.
they're only showing you what they want to show you.
Yep.
But you said something important. There are experts. I hate that word. There are experts on one and they take information, they hit your family up, stuff like that. If we were doing that in real life, real time, I think we would be better off as a society. But who has the time to do that? Everybody caught up in self. But as far as the shows are concerned, I hear you, Mike, but it's still entertainment. It's still BS.
I know.
It's still BS at the end of the day. The balloon, the 1 verse 20, the why did I get married, whatever the crap comes out. You know what I mean? It's all entertainment, and that's part of the problem. So no, I wouldn't go on any of those shows. I wouldn't go on any of them if I was single. Because what's the point? If I'm going to get entertained, just to have a special friend, I'm with it. Let's go. Yeah, let's have fun. If I'm looking for my wife, nah. I'll take my chances. Which takes me to my question, bro.
Mm-hmm.
My final question. How would you navigate dating right now as a single man?
If I was single.
If you were single.
I think I'd probably still navigate my dating life the same way I navigated prior to stuff.
Which was?
Opportunities.
Explain.
So, and you know this, and you to admit that I told you this. There was a point in time after one of my relationships, I was like, I'm good, I'm chilling, I'm just gonna be me, right? Have fun, whatever, cool. I did that, and like you said, yeah, I had that moment, lonely. I wish I had someone to talk to. Rub on all that good stuff, yeah, whatever, cool. But then I also got to the realization is like the opportunity presents itself whenever God deems it's ready, right? And I'm gonna add this point out there because one of my pastors brought this to my attention. He says he doesn't believe in soulmates, and when he said that and explained it, and I'm like, you know what? I agree. I agree to an extent. It's because you choose your partner. If it was soulmates, then far less marriages would fail if you were meant to be each other. If God put it on himself to like, all right, I made someone perfectly for you. There you go get him. But God didn't do it that way. Yes, God made people in what you would like, but it's your choice to pick who you want to be with. You still have freedom.
But I think you're also proving why soulmates is a real thing, though, by you saying that.
I don't think so, though. Now I'm thinking about it, I don't think so.
If the purpose of soulmates, right? I don't even think soulmates is a God thing. I think soulmates is like a celestial thing. When they say soulmates, they're talking about like the energy and the
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right? If that's a real thing, you have to remember humans are good at fucking shit up because we're dumb. We're humans. We question everything. If it don't make sense. So you probably could be disrupting your soulmate.
I don't see
Your soulmate could also be your homie. People don't want to talk about that. It's just energy. It's just depending on what type of time, what type of topic you talk about. Because you automatically went to soulmate God, but my brain went to soulmate celestial. It depends on how you look at soulmate.
Yeah, true. But I mean, yeah, do it the same way, which was I just be me. If opportunity presents itself, it presents itself. If it doesn't, so be it. Move on. I'm really, really not. I don't think this the way dating's going right now. All the apps and everything. It helps people. It helps other people. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. But I'm not. In all honesty, I ain't really with all that. Like I say this: if you're on the app and you happen to see someone that you already met in person, why not take the opportunity to go talk to them on your own? That's just showing you that person was interested also at the same time. It's just, I may have been too busy. So I say take opportunity. That's why I say take the opportunity. I'd rather meet people. And then if some crazy way you meet again and all right, take that opportunity. That's how I look at it.
Okay. I would be in trouble if I was single and attempting to date. And I'm just being real with you. I don't think I would be looking for marriage. My personal opinion. At 30 something years old, I think I would be over it. And I think I would be in the boat with a lot of other brothers that are over it and a lot of sisters that's over it. They are like, yo, what's the point? I'm about to just rock out the way I'm rocking out. I'm not saying I'm jaded. I'm not saying that I'm giving up on my people. It's just more so the consensus is that social media is depicting what you want in a marriage. And if that is how most of us are living, I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm cool with having fun. It would be nice to have a kid, but I'm one of them people that I'm not having a kid unless we marry because I believe in that. You can call it old folk mentality. I don't care. That's me because I have an identity. I'm not enrolled. And my identity is I would like to have a stable foundation, me by myself, and then my wife to have a stable foundation as well, and then have a child. To do that single, right? One, I'm getting a prenup off rip. I don't care what nobody say, right? Because I'm 30 something years old. I'm not 25 no more. You feel me? 24 or 23. I'm not doing that. So the prenup has to happen, right? A lot of women not going for that. They're not trying to hear that. So if you do find somebody like-minded, cool, we getting a prenup. But now she inserting, all right, let's bring people into the fold because in order for me to get this business deal, I got to do X, Y, and Z. In order for you to get this business deal, you got to do X, Y, and Z. I don't know if I'm cool with that. The rules are so different now from how I was raised. You see what I'm saying? The rules are so different. If you're not doing for this, then you can't do this. And don't worry about it. I'm gonna take out the trash. I was raised, women don't touch the trash. Do not trust. I'm like that right now in my marriage.
Yeah.
Do not touch that trash. Don't touch that trash. I'm serious, bro. I handicap my wife in that type of aspect. And that may not be the proper word, so my apologies, but I don't allow my wife to touch the trash. There are moments she still fight me and she try to take out the trash. But I'm just saying, as a single, now just hear me out, bro. As a married man, if that's how I am, right? Can you picture me single? I was raised different. I'm like, you ain't got to touch the trash. I got it. What you think this is? You think I need you?
See, and that's the thing about neither anything. It's just we trying to do what we believe that should be done for you. It's how you should be treated. It's a whole psychology thing, man.
It's an ideology thing.
Yep,
and that's what I'm saying.
Too.
I'm being super vulnerable with you. I don't think I could last in this new dating market because my ideology is so 1973. It is.
Nah, I hear you, bro. I hear you. My
mother tell me all the time, boy, why you act like you so old? I just be like, Ma, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you feel me? Like, I don't know. But that's my answer. I couldn't do it, man. I would have fun. I would dip and dab. If a female's like, yo, I love your energy, I love your vibe, maybe we could do something. But to say that I would get down on my knees and pray and ask the Lord, is this my ordained wife? I don't know if I would do it, bro. That's me being vulnerable and real with you, bro. I don't know if I would do it. It's rough, man. I listen to people, man, my heart break for them, man. I'm like, damn. You meet somebody, you spend 2-3 years with them, right? And this happened in real time, bro. People 2-3 years with this person, and then they switch. It's like it was like a mental condition there, and it was dormant, and then it came alive. I'll be like, yo, this is too much for me. All the apps, swipe left, swipe right, all this psychological damage that does to us as humans. I don't think we think about all that.
Just like pop the balloon. Poop.
Yeah. Bro, I got to think about all that. I'm in the psychology field, bro. People don't pay attention. When you swipe left on somebody, you are training your brain to go, this person don't have the physical qualities that I want. They not good enough. What? That person could have been everything you needed, but because they took a bad picture on a Thursday.
Yo, bro, you're talking right. But as we wrap this up, you got any advice for the brothers and the sisters out there?
As a married man or as a single man?
Oh, as a married man, of course.
Okay, so as a married man, and I'm basically giving out advice to brothers and sisters. All right. Let me speak to the brothers first, man, because again, my ideology. If you're going to look for a wife, keyword is look for a wife. Stop, listen, real talk. Stop looking for these women to come find you. All right. Take it back to basics, man. You are supposed to hunt. You are supposed to seek out. Regardless if it's biblical or regardless if it's human nature, they both marriage together. You're supposed to be seeking, my brother. You're supposed to be going to look for her. Stop being a prima donna. As we used to say in the 90s, pull your skirt down, B. I don't care how it sounds in 2024. I don't care if you're sensitive about it. Go find you what you're looking for. And be respectful about it. If she curve you, she don't want you, take it back. But I appreciate it. I don't need you going back to 1997 New York. Well, after you didn't be, we're not doing that. That's money, that's trash. We're not doing that no more. We're not doing that no more. And to you weirdos, and I'm gonna call you for what you are, to you weirdos that's attempting to get these young ladies your number and you getting mad because she curving you and you punching her face and all that. Because that's a little phenomenon I keep hearing about women getting beat up by dudes and shit. Like, bro, you's a cornball. You a cornball. We don't need you in society. Walk left to a plank that got sharks waiting for you. I said what I said. We don't need you. That's whack. You need to go deal with your childhood trauma, whatever you got going on, bro. You ain't got time for that, man. If she don't want to be with you, she don't want to be with you. I said what I said. Now to my brothers, you asked how can I help my brothers? I'm getting off a tangent. Pardon me, man, because I'm passionate about this. Go chase what you want, but chase with koof. If she says she don't want you the first time, make sure that's what she means. Make sure she not playing the game. Make sure she don't got trauma and she just needs somebody to be there and help her elevate. That's a gem, right? But I would say after about the second or third time, because a lot of dudes don't like rejection, but sometimes that woman is rejecting you and not understanding that she needs you. It's a bar for somebody. I'm gonna say it again. It's a lot of times that woman could be rejecting you because of an ideology that has been embedded in her from an idiot before her, and she don't even realize that you are what she needs. What that's you were the person that God has put in front of her. You just don't look like the image of what she wants. But if she realized that you are that guy, once y'all get together and y'all start talking and y'all both elevate and then you become the person that she needed all along, that's beauty. But it takes for you not to get in your feelings because she told you no one time. Now I don't want to deal with you. I'm good. You be consistent. You be persistent. 2 or 3. I'm not saying go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. That's crazy. We're not doing that. If you get curved that many times, you need to leave it alone. Okay. I'm talking about 1, 2, maybe 3. If you know in your heart, like, nah, I got it. She it. I gotta get it. Other thing to my fellas, man. Yo, be real with yourself, please. If you just want to hit, tell her you want to hit. If you see something deeper, you like the way her mind work, you like the way her other mind work, tell her that. Like, yo, you giving it up. You got what I want, right? But you also got what I want. You seem like you would be a good mother. You seem like you got this, and this. Have a real conversation. I think we need to get back to being real. A movie I want everybody to watch, The Invention of Lying. Right before they started lying, yeah, that's a hard movie. Right before they started lying, I think if we were keeping it real, how they were doing it in the beginning of that movie, we'd be better off as a society. All right, now let me talk to my queens. Queens, just hear me out. You know how I feel about y'all, right? Love y'all. But listen, this social media shit, this got y'all fucked up. Real talk. Social media got brothers messed up, but not how it got y'all messed up. The cis community, I'm gonna talk to y'all. Now we're gonna have a conversation. All right. Hey sis. Let me talk to y'all real quick. All right. I don't call y'all sis, I call y'all queens for what y'all are. That's how y'all need to move, an abundance of queens. Y'all can call it pro-black, y'all can call it forgot y'all got little stupid words for Egyptian words and stuff like that. Hotep. Y'all call it Hotep. I don't care what you call it. You are what you are. You are a queen. You stand true in who you are. Some of y'all are princesses and y'all ain't gonna never be a queen. Figure out who you are. Identity versus role confusion. Some of y'all are meant to be concubines. Some of y'all are meant to be wives. Figure out who you are. Stop striving to be something that you not. I'm talking to you, queens. I'm not even talking to the fellas. I'm talking to the queens. If you are a concubine, be a concubine. Be a proud concubine too. Because that's your purpose. That's what you're supposed to do. It is what it is. Everybody can't be the boss. Some of us got to be workers. I have to go through a couple of concubines to realize that I don't want this. I want my wife. And then vice versa. Some people got to go through a couple of wives, unfortunately, to realize, you know what? Man, I don't think I'm a husband. I think I'm a whore. I think I'm just one of them guys that I can't get a good job, but I got good peen. I got a good peen game, and I know how to pin it down. So when you bored, hit me up. I'm gonna hit that spot because I got what you need. I got the fix. I'm the fixer. I'm your pusher, man. There you go. But leave this social media shit alone. You are not Moesha. You're not Kim Parker. You. Be you. Identity versus role confusion. We not even, the crazy part about this, Mike, we've been talking about this the whole time. We've been talking about intimacy versus isolation. But bro, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think a lot of our people, our peers, are even in that category. They still in adolescence, bro. Nas got a song, bro, and I'm gonna leave it at this. Nas got a song and it still ring out true to me, bro. I think people just in their second childhood.
See, that's the neighborhood therapist for you guys. Hitting y'all with them gems and the knowledge on the top of his head. You know, some stuff I will definitely admit, man, you're right. Other stuff is, I'd say, I just leave this like this. Let's not let our human nature control every thoughts and decisions we make. Let's actually think about it. That's all I got to say. And with that, folks, we see y'all next week.
What up, listeners? Mike B here. Hope you enjoyed the episode. You can find us on IG at BMM_podcast. On TikTok at BMM Podcast. Facebook, just type in the Black Man Misunderstood Podcast. And then you can find the Neighborhood Therapist at the Neighborhood Therapist on IG. And you can find myself at MikeB_BMM on IG. And if you want to connect with our producer, the DJ himself, Mr. DJ Daxter, check him out at DJ Daxter on IG. Alright, folks. See y'all next week.